Global climate change is melting Arctic ice at an unprecedented rate, creating both environmental and geopolitical upheavals. While this could spell disaster for low-lying countries like Tuvalu and the Maldives, it also opens up new navigable waters in the Arctic. The melting ice has given rise to two critical maritime routes, the Northwest Passage and the Northern Sea Route. This video delves into the implications of increased Arctic traffic and why the control over these routes is becoming a contentious issue. Let's explore how this new frontier is shaping the global landscape, focusing on the growing tension between Canada and Russia. The Arctic region has seen a significant increase in maritime traffic due to the melting ice. Between 2013 and 2019, the number of vessels entering the Arctic rose by 25%. In the Canadian Arctic, fishing vessels and cargo ships saw a dramatic increase, with traffic nearly doubling from 2009 to 2019. Experts predict that by 2050, almost 5% of global shipping trade could pass through the Arctic, highlighting the immense economic and geopolitical stakes involved. The primary routes of interest are the Northwest Passage, which runs through Canadian territory, and the Northern Sea Route along the Russian coast. Control over these routes promises tremendous economic benefits, making the Arctic a hotbed of international interest and potential conflict. The increased traffic is not without challenges. Harsh weather conditions, lack of search and rescue capabilities, and potential environmental impacts make Arctic navigation a complex and risky endeavor. Nevertheless, the economic incentives are driving more nations and companies to invest in Arctic shipping routes. The quest to find a navigable passage through the Arctic has captivated explorers for centuries. Early attempts by explorers like Christopher Columbus were thwarted by ice and rough waters. It wasn't until 1906 that Norwegian explorer Roald Amundsen and his crew successfully navigated the Northwest Passage, marking a historic achievement. However, Amundsen's ship, the Gjoa, was a small vessel capable of navigating the intricate channels and shallow waters, a feat that commercial vessels struggled to replicate for over a century. In 2013, the Danish bulk carrier MS Nordic Orion became the first commercial vessel to successfully traverse the Northwest Passage, shortening its journey by 4 days and saving $80,000 in fuel costs. This historic journey underscored the potential of this route, sparking renewed interest in Arctic navigation. The successful navigation of the Northwest Passage by the MS Nordic Orion demonstrated the feasibility of commercial Arctic shipping and opened the door to new opportunities and challenges in the region. The Northwest Passage connects the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans, significantly reducing shipping times and costs. A ship traveling from Japan to Western Europe could cut its journey by 6,000 miles by using this route, bypassing the Suez Canal. This shift could have profound implications for global trade, diminishing the importance of the Suez and Panama canals, and elevating the Northwest Passage as a critical maritime route. The increase in Arctic traffic means that whoever controls these routes stands to gain substantial economic and geopolitical advantages. Currently, Canada is poised to dominate the Northwest Passage, but this claim is contested by other nations, including the United States and Russia. Control over the Northwest Passage also brings responsibilities. Canada must ensure the safety of ships navigating the passage and protect the fragile Arctic environment from the impacts of increased maritime traffic. Canada considers the Northwest Passage part of its internal waters, granting it control over who can navigate the route. However, the United States advocates for it to be declared an international waterway, ensuring free navigation for all nations. This disagreement stems from the passage's strategic importance and potential economic benefits. Canada's stance is bolstered by its adherence to international maritime laws and its role as a founding member of the International Maritime Organization, or IMO. The country has been re-elected to the IMO Council and has spearheaded initiatives like the International Code for Ships Operating in Polar Waters, emphasizing safety and environmental protection in Arctic shipping. Despite these efforts, the debate over the Northwest Passage's status continues, with Canada and the United States seeking a diplomatic resolution that balances national interests with international maritime law. While Canada and the United States grapple over the Northwest Passage, Russia and China have been making strategic moves to secure their interests in the Arctic. Russia has been expanding its icebreaker fleet and military presence in the region, aiming to control the Northern Sea route. China, declaring itself a near-Arctic nation, has published navigation guides and launched polar expeditions, seeking to capitalize on the shorter trade routes to the Western world. These moves highlight the increasing importance of the Arctic in global geopolitics. Control over Arctic routes could shift the balance of power, making the region a focal point for future conflicts and alliances. Russia's militarization of the Arctic and China's growing presence pose significant challenges to the established Arctic nations, prompting calls for increased cooperation and security measures among Arctic Council members. The opening of the Northwest Passage brings not only economic opportunities but also significant environmental and social challenges. Increased maritime traffic raises concerns about oil spills, pollution, and disruption to marine life. Moreover, the traditional way of life for the Inuit and other indigenous communities in the Arctic is at risk. Canada has taken a proactive stance in addressing these challenges, proposing the establishment of an emissions control area in the Arctic and investing in marine biotechnology to protect Arctic ecosystems. These efforts aim to balance economic development with environmental sustainability and the preservation of indigenous cultures. Protecting the Arctic environment and ensuring the well-being of its indigenous populations are paramount. Canada is committed to implementing measures that safeguard this fragile region while pursuing economic opportunities. Maritime trade is a crucial part of the Canadian economy and way of life. With the world's longest coastline and ports in the Atlantic, Pacific, and Arctic Oceans, as well as the Great Lakes, Canada is positioned to play a significant role in global shipping. In 2022, marine trade directly generated nearly 30,000 jobs and reached a value of $345 billion, accounting for 23% of Canada's total international trade. With over 1.35 million square miles of Arctic territories, the potential for growth in the maritime sector is immense. The opening of the Northwest Passage could stimulate historically underdeveloped regions in the far north, transforming them into vital shipping, trade, and logistics hubs. To prepare for the future, Canada must invest in infrastructure, enhance search and rescue capabilities, and develop policies that ensure safe and sustainable Arctic navigation. These efforts will be crucial in maintaining Canada's leadership in Arctic shipping. Currently, there are no international agreements policing who can and cannot pass through the Northwest Passage. The only existing agreements are between the US and Canada, such as the 1988 Arctic Cooperation Agreement, which dictates that the US must request Canada's consent to send an icebreaker through the passage. However, with the potential for significant economic gain, a more comprehensive agreement is needed. Canada proposes that the Northwest Passage should be considered part of its internal waters, ensuring control over navigation and the ability to implement safety and environmental regulations. This stance, while controversial, aims to protect the Arctic environment and ensure safe passage for all vessels. International cooperation will be essential in managing the Arctic's future. By working together, Arctic nations can balance economic opportunities with environmental protection and ensure that the Arctic remains a region of peace and stability. The increased shipping traffic through the Northwest Passage brings significant environmental risks. Oil spills, pollution, and noise interference are major concerns that could devastate the fragile Arctic ecosystem and disrupt the traditional way of life for the Inuit people. Canada is committed to addressing these challenges. The establishment of an emissions control area in the Arctic aims to reduce pollution, while investments in marine biotechnology promise groundbreaking discoveries that could help protect the environment. Balancing economic development with environmental protection is crucial. Canada must ensure that the benefits of increased shipping do not come at the expense of the Arctic's unique and fragile environment. As the Arctic ice continues to melt, the Northwest Passage will play an increasingly critical role in global trade. Canada's position as a key player in this region comes with significant responsibilities and challenges. Balancing economic opportunities with environmental protection and international cooperation will be crucial for the future of Arctic navigation. The decisions made today will shape the Arctic's future and its impact on global geopolitics. What do you think about Canada's role in the Arctic and the potential conflicts over the Northwest Passage? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Now check out our video on the real reason the US bought Alaska from Russia, or explore more fascinating content on our channel.